If you're looking for a compact desktop 3D printer that's ready to print straight out of the box, then the Monoprice Select Mini 3D printer may just be your perfect choice. It comes fully assembled and factory calibrated. This means even 3D printing novices can set this up and start their first print job within just an hour or so. We bought the Monoprice Select Mini for testing on Amazon from the official sellers, and if you want to get the same experience that we did, we highly recommend that you buy from the same place. Links will be in the description. If you like this video, remember to click like and subscribe. The top-line specs for the Monoprice Select Mini 3D printer are a build area of 120 by 120 by 120 millimeters, which is roughly the height of a can of Coke. The highest print resolution is 100 microns, with a heated build plate and a printing speed of 55 millimeters per second. Files can be uploaded to the Monoprice Select Mini via a micro SD card slot or a USB connection. The manual says that compatible slicing software, the application you'll need to use to prepare objects for printing, is Cura, Repeater Host, Replicator G, and Simplify 3D. What this means is that the Monoprice Select Mini can parse standard G-code and is not confined to proprietary software. For the purposes of this review, we used Cura. Similarly, the Monoprice Select Mini doesn't require special filament and can accept any standard 1.75mm spool of PLA or ABS thermoplastic. For my testing, I opted to use ColorFab PLA and Sky Blue. The two aspects concerning software and filament are incredibly rare at this price level. Other 3D printing manufacturers like M3D Micro and XYZ Printing tend to impose closed software or filament, which locks you into their operational ecosystem for the long term. The setup of the Monoprice Select Mini 3D printer is fairly easy. You should be up and printing within 20 minutes or less. Inside the box, you'll find the printer, an AC power adapter, a hex key for leveling the bed platform, a dinky plastic spatula for scraping prints off the bed, a micro SD card with 256 MB storage capacity, and a micro USB cable. A scrap of paper has basic setup instructions and then points you towards a URL where you can download the full manual for Monoprice Select Mini. There's also a rectangular length of folded sheet metal inside Monoprice Select Mini, and its purpose is not immediately made clear. Turns out it's a spool holder that clips onto the side of the main unit. Important to note is that the Monoprice Select Mini doesn't come with any filament. Make sure you have a 1.75mm spool of your favorite material ready to go, or order it at the same time as the printer. For the setup stage, you have to navigate a full-color LCD interface with a click wheel. The menus are clearly structured and well thought out. Via the interface, you initiate the process of calibration, preheating the hot end and then loading up your filament. The calibration is a bit tricky. This is supposed to have been set at the factory, and you should be able to slide a sheet of paper between the print bed and the hot end. If you can't, you have to use the hex key to tweak the springs at each corner of the print bed. This can take some time before you get it just right. Which brings us to the first quirk of many. The heated bed of the Monoprice Select Mini is an aluminum plate with no protective covering except for a sheet of builder's tape. This tape is quickly going to degrade over prolonged use, so you should ensure you have a roll of tape ready to replace it as and when you need to. The next quirk is that the AC power adapter on our Monoprice Select Mini died within 12 hours of use. This was incredibly annoying, but relatively easy to replace with a generic power adapter for around $30 or so. Something to be aware of in case it happens to you. One of the most appealing things about the Monoprice Select Mini 3D printer is the build quality. It's sturdy and robust, with a folded sheet metal enclosure housing the electronics. It's built like a tank, but also compact and portable, so you won't be concerned about damaging it in transport. This is a Cartesian-style fused filament fabrication (FFF) printer, with a one-sided arm holding the printhead in the style of a PrinterBot Simple. The Monoprice Select Mini only has a single fan for cooling the nozzle, however, which may limit your options for exotic filaments. At the top of the main pillar is a spring-loaded quick-release extruder with a steel gear. It's a nice design, and it feeds the filament to the hot end using a Bowden cable setup. Again, this may limit your options, especially if you were hoping to print with flexible filaments. Preloaded on the microSD card are a pair of models for printing, a cat and an elephant. Presumably, these have been optimized to best show off the Monoprice Select Mini performance. With that in mind, I started on these models before slicing some of my own. The first thing I printed was the cat, with a resolution I'm guessing was 200 microns. Details came out fine and clear right up until the final layers, whereupon the tips of the cat's paw and ears became garbled. This happened 3 times on 3 separate attempts. The second thing I printed was the elephant at 200 microns and 10% infill, and there were no problems here. The Monoprice Select Mini did an admirable job with things like bridging and overhangs, and the retraction was tight enough that stringing was non-existent. Basic details came through pretty well on all of the 200 micron models. The Monoprice Select Mini didn't seem to struggle too much with small unsupported spans and overhangs, although there is the noticeable occurrence of blobs and zits. Layers also remain fairly consistent along the X and Y axis. If you're a beginner looking for a low-cost and low-risk way to explore the wonderful world of 3D printing, this is the perfect choice. There are the flaws I've discussed, but for a low price, the Monoprice Select Mini will provide plenty of entertainment and education. It's very easy to use and is capable of print quality to easily rival 3D printers costing 3 times as much. This makes the Monoprice Select Mini an ideal choice for beginners, students, and teachers looking for an easy way to learn the fundamentals of 3D modeling and 3D printing. We bought the Monoprice Select Mini for testing on Amazon from the official sellers, and if you want to get the same experience that we did, we highly recommend that you buy from the same place. Links will be in the description. If you like this video, remember to click like and subscribe.